What is shaking, everybody? It's been a while since I've been in the backyard with a guest. I've been in the backyard. I do the show from the backyard. I started doing this. I'm like, I'll just kind of alternate between backyard, inside, backyard. And then after a while, I just like, fuck, what am I doing in the house? I come in the backyard and do the show all the time. So that's what I've done. But now I have a guest. And I was telling Drew the great thing about doing this. Hey, we're doing a show over here.
Hi, how are you?
Can you please?
There's nobody.
This happens every once in a while where the alarm. Actually, this has never happened.
Of course.
While we've been doing the show. So I was gonna say take two, but we're live. So you're just gonna have to put up with it for a couple minutes. But I will introduce our guest.
Is it mine?
Is it yours? Hey, guest, what the fuck's going on here? You come
my
over,
my alarm's never
beeping.
going off.
I mean, what is going on?
There it is. It wasn't mine.
Was that yours? Bro. Somebody's trying to sabotage. You know who it is? It's probably my previous employer's like general manager saying, I forbid you to talk hockey. He goes, I'm going to stop you from talking hockey. I don't even care if you work for me anymore. You're not going to talk hockey. And like, we are going to sally forth. We're going to gird up our loins. We're going to hit the line. We're going to intestinal fortitude, all that stuff. And I really don't care how long this goes on.
Who's this?
Yeah. No, we don't know. That's my wife doesn't know either.
Okay, I'm going to go check.
My wife, okay, go. Everybody go check their cars. Everybody says a little black car. Is that your car? Everybody enjoying the show so far? Okay, so what I did, I wanted to. Is that we good?
Sounds like it was Ogden.
Okay. Ogden, unbelievable.
That's perfect start for us.
Ogden's car. Ogden's car.
That is perfect for us. This is perfect. I finally get to meet your lovely wife after all these years.
Yes.
Lauren, I finally get to meet Lauren.
Lori, this is Remenda.
Yeah, we just
wife, Lori.
Very nice to finally meet you after all these years.
And we're live. We've started the show, so this is like an interesting start to the show.
That's you and me, though. That's
very exciting.
We've never done this before. Oh God.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jake. All right.
Did
so
you
as I was saying,
your coverage?
well,
Wait a minute. Did you outkick your coverage?
Of course.
Oh my gosh.
By about 20 yards. And then my gunners held and then ran past, and I was just completely overmatched. Completely overmatched. I'm glad that car stopped because I didn't want to start the show in earnest while the alarm was going off. So I was going to start bringing up something that I thought about last night, which is when you get the scrubber to scrub your toilet and then put it back in its little canister, how often do you take that thing out and clean it off? And then where do you clean it off?
You clean it off. You flush
it. You clean it off in the toilet,
in the
but
toilet.
how do you do? Do you just go?
So
you go like this to try to get it off and swirl it around?
Well,
or do you like bring a spray? But you don't have a spray hose in there.
No, but like, what are you cleaning? I mean, you don't.
Yeah, but all the stuff gets caught in the little bristles.
That's why you have the bristles. So you put the liquid plumber in there with the drainer or whatever, and then you scrub it. Okay.
Yep.
And then you wait for a few minutes. You leave the brush in there.
Yep.
You flush it, and then when it's clean, you rinse it in there. You shake it off, put it back in the little canister.
Yeah.
Well,
my shit must be stubborn then, because it's clinging onto that thing. It's like, nah, I ain't coming off. I'm like, now what do I do? now when my options
you've got to clean it.
My options are very limited. I do once a year, whether it needs it or not. Look.
No, you have to make sure that because I always clean the cat box too, the litter box, right?
I do the litter box as
because
well, my son.
I keep thinking to myself, yeah, who am I? I'm away 8 months, but I keep thinking to myself, if I was going to the bathroom, would I want my bathroom to look like this, like my toilet to look like the litter box if it was so? Why do we always get into these conversations?
I don't know. But I got the automatic litter box that scrapes it forward.
Well, yeah, of course.
So the kitties go in there, but the cats come out here anyway.
Yeah.
And go. So the litter box isn't all that full. And then she comes out. Obviously, she comes out here and goes. So, yeah. You know what I should do? I should probably just get a new brush every 6 months.
Think?
They can't be that expensive.
They're not. Like, what are you kidding me? We have the same brush that you've
been here
for 30
That
years.
thing's been hanging in for 30 years. I mean, it looks pretty good to me. Probably not under warranty anymore, is it? Anyway, all right, let's get the show going.
Brushes are under have a warranty.
For those of you that don't know, Drew Remenda, a color analyst of the San Jose Sharks, joined me for years and years when Ralph and I were doing the show, and we just had such a ball. Love talking to Drew.
We actually hosted a show together.
We did host a show together.
Do you remember the show?
I don't.
LeBron's draft day.
That's right. That's what it was.
You brought in a basketball expert to help you out with the picks.
That's right. I was like, I must really like Drew. I'm going to bring him in on the NBA draft.
Exactly. One of the most consequential players in the history of the NBA.
Although it wasn't the draft day.
No.
It wasn't he got drafted because I was doing the draft.
Yeah.
I was back
just before.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to talk hockey, and we're hoping to do it every couple of weeks throughout the hockey season. I should let everybody know that if you're watching Drew and I do this show, I want to let you know the show's sponsored by Fieldwork Brewing, the official non-alcoholic beverage of the San Jose Sharks. Is it beverage or beer? I think it might be non-alcoholic beer. Let's go with beer because they may have non-alcoholic beverages that are sodas and all kinds of stuff. So there you go. Fieldworks, the official non-alcoholic beer of the San Jose Sharks. So whether you're going there, you're the designated driver, maybe you just don't want the calories, maybe you like the taste of it, you want to have a beer with the boys but not really have a beer with the boys, there you go. You have a fantastic choice. It's Fieldwork non-alcoholic. So now that we got that taken care of, then I should say that I'm going to enjoy one today. I'm going to enjoy an Oktoberfest beer, a Best and Last, which is it is alcoholic. That is not a non-alcoholic beer.
Look at that.
That is octane. That is octane.
Okay.
And then I have some water. I usually don't drink on Tuesday, but I figured, you know what? I'm going to celebrate the fact that you're here.
Thank you.
Because
I'm really happy to be here.
I'm super happy to have you.
It's been forever since we've seen each other.
Can't wait to talk Sharks hockey with you. It should be a fun team this year. Should be an exciting team.
Yeah.
This year. Let's just start with Macklin, right?
Of course you have to.
I mean, let's start with Macklin. And I mean, look, obviously the guy's really good. He was really good last year. I think the thing that impressed me most about him is at that young age, he plays all three levels. I mean, he plays like a 29-year-old. Like he just understands the complete hockey game. And he's obviously very serious in how he takes his craft and works at his craft. Like he's a veteran who's not a veteran. He's a young guy, but you don't see a lot of young guys take the game seriously at all three levels. And I think that's the thing that really impressed me about him last year. Not the only thing, because there's a ton to like about him, obviously, but I thought that was super impressive.
See, I've told you 100 times, you don't need me. You don't need me talking.
I do.
You see the game well. But he is, you mentioned serious, and he is very serious about the game. And if you want to stop a conversation with Macklin, ask him about himself. He doesn't want to talk about that. He wants to talk about the game. He wants to talk about his teammates, and he wants to make sure that everybody understands it is a team game. But his game as an individual is a game as complete as I've seen a kid come into the league. And I was in Edmonton when Connor McDavid came in the league. When Leon Draisaitl came in the league. They didn't have his game. They did not have his 200-foot game. I think he was one of the top takeaway players he was the top rookie takeaway guy and one of the top players in the league taking the puck away from guys. He's a player that he knows he's good. He knows he's a terrific hockey player. He knows that he can score goals. He wants to win. There's guys that you've played with guys that just winning is what matters. If I go -2, I'll be ticked off, but if we win, that'll ease the pain a little bit. So that's what he's about. His approach to the game is for a 19-year-old, 18-year-old last year, he turned 18 before training camp, was phenomenal. I've seen so many guys come and go with the San Jose Sharks, so many good players, some not so good, so many very serious players, some guys who are really light and happy. Yeah. He is serious when he has to be, but has an enthusiasm and joy in his game and in his preparation, and he loves just being a hockey player. And I think that's the secret to him. I also think that, with him and Will Smith, it was genius by the Sharks.
Yeah.
Because they played at BC, one played at BU, okay? So that's great. They have that rivalry. But both young and both just stupid kids, man. It's just like I was telling you, like the soccer game, all hockey players play soccer before that.
Yep.
All the team plays together. It's like a knockout game. Those two play against each other right near our offices, the broadcast offices. And every once in a while, I got to come out because they're just ringing the ball off the door as hard as they absolutely can, just to get one of us to come out and be like the old man, get off my lawn guy, which of course is me. But
like I said, you're the dad in Step Brothers.
yeah, exactly.
You're the dad.
Jackaloons. But they are the combination of those two help each other. Macklin is serious. He's serious, but he's fun. It's kind of fun. And I think they balance off each other wonderfully. So when I look at Macklin, the one thing that I look at is he's going to be the captain in 2-3 years, and he's going to be the leader. He already is a leader in this team. So it's so much fun to be around him. There's one incident. There's one issue. I go downstairs to do the interview, the bench interview, because it's so important because you get so much insight on the bench interview before the game.
Big time.
Oh yeah. You should give me 100%, and just want to make sure we really get away from puck. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But
we got to win the tough pucks.
Exactly. Yeah, we got to get pucks behind. Got to get pucks deep. Get a lot of shots on net. Get some guys there too. So it's in Washington, and I'm just sitting in the hallway before, because you don't need to go out on the ice that early, and there's music playing, which I couldn't tell you what it was and who it was or anything like that. It could have been Bad Bunny for all I know. And then, like that reference,
do you know Bad Bunny's song?
No, but I loved him in Bullet Train with Brad Pitt.
He was really good in Bullet Train,
and the wrestling match he had with Damian Priest, a fellow Puerto Rican, at I think it was SummerSlam, was
really
unreal how good he was.
Really?
Oh, look it up. He and Damian Priest. Damian Priest is a giant like you. Bad Bunny's like my size.
Yeah.
And it was great. Off the top of the speakers. Boom. Bad Bunny. Yes, off a table.
He was pretty decent. Happy Gilmore too.
Yes.
As well.
Yeah, he was.
Wasn't bad.
So anyway, he was, so I got a ton of respect for the guy. Plus he's one of the top 5 best-selling artists. So,
yep.
And if you're getting upset about a halftime show, really?
Leave.
Yeah.
It's in your living room.
Exactly.
Like walk out. Nobody's making you watch it. Nobody tied you to a radiator inside the living room. You have to watch the halftime show.
Exactly.
Go grab a beer.
Exactly.
Go get a smoke. Go do what you do.
Go to the store and talk to your kids. See what they
don't have to be there.
As the saying goes, touch grass. Just lighten up, man. It's a friggin' halftime show.
It's amazing what people get upset about.
Anyway, I'm completely lost now. But anyway, so you've got the guys are in the dressing room, and there's Will, and then there's Macklin, and in between them is Tyler Toffoli.
Okay.
Uncle Tyler. And the music's bopping, and Will and Macklin are, doing this. And I happen to catch Tyler's eye for a second, and he just goes, that's it. And I thought, one, you should get the master done for what you're going to have to go through this year. But it was so funny because of the dichotomy of a veteran guy and then the two kids who were beside him. Saying, how great is this? We're in the NHL. It was great. So I think that's what they bring. They bring that energy, Yeah,
oh, absolutely. Well, let me ask you about Smith, because he's a guy who, really talented. Defensive game didn't translate as well last year. I would say more normal rookie trajectory, right? Where the full 200 feet is still yet to be developed, although you could see the skill and the chemistry that he has with Celebrini. Talk about his, last year and going into the future, like stuff he needs to work on and kind of how he fits. Because I'm guessing, look, in 3 or 4 years, everybody that watches Sharks hockey is hoping Celebrini's a Hart Trophy candidate.
Mm-hmm.
Smith and Eklund are absolute studs.
Yeah.
Misa's right there with him, and Dickinson's right there with him.
Yeah.
And I want to get to those guys later, but that's kind of the core And then Askarov, fills out the back. Like that's kind of the dream. Is like that's your core moving forward, and then you fill in the pieces. But where's Smith at, and where does he need to go?
It was interesting last year. First off, I love the kid. I said to him one day, he's a great looking kid, right? Just a great looking kid. And he came off the plane one day and I said, so you look like a movie star. And he looks and goes, I am a movie star. He's got that, right? And he's got a laugh to him. He's fantastic. He started off slow last year. They had those development days and then back-to-back games, they didn't play him. And I went to our assistant general manager, Tom Holy, and I said, and everybody was talking like, why aren't you sending him to the CUDA? Why aren't you letting him develop? Because that was development for everybody. And I said to Tom, hey, what's the deal with Smith? And Tom said, I'm going to tell you what Aaron Rodgers once said, RELAX, relax. Last year, and he was talking 2 years ago now when he was at BC, he said he started off the same way, slow. And his brain caught up to his game, and then he led the nation in scoring. And then if you look at his year last year, it was the same trajectory. Started off slow. There were questions about, is he fast enough to play? Is he thinking the game at the right level? And then boom, in the second part of the season, he just took off. And the great thing about him is that confidence was never an issue. There's not a lack of confidence, even when he wasn't scoring, So when you look at the way that he developed, it happened exactly like management said it was going to happen. And I got to give him credit for that, man. They called it. So when I look at him this year, when I watched him in the preseason, he's just thinking on a different level. I said it like 3 or 4 times. You could see it. The first game he played it was against Vegas. And I'm watching him and thinking he set up one of I think we'd end up being the winning goal. He set up that play so beautifully by being you could see him thinking it way ahead of the time, getting to the open, reading who's coming, making the pass behind his back, all things that he's doing and go, wow. And then last game against Utah, which last game of the preseason, he gets a goal on the power play. He had 3 or 4 chances, but he gets the pass from Macklin, and he and Macklin working together on that power play. It's incredible. And that's when you look at the future and go, okay, yeah, bring it on. Let's go. Let's have some fun. So, and looks like Eklund and today at practice, it was Eklund and Macklin and Smitty. So,
okay,
should be some fun.
Were you out with Eklund? Because I remember early on you were kind of curious, you were kind of wondering,
worried about his.
I'm not sure where he's gonna fit in.
Yeah,
and he's fitting quite nicely. And boy, his hands, and he sees he really sees the game. You watch some of his passes and just what he's looking at. I like him. I didn't know much about him, and that's why I asked you. Talk about what you saw then that made you think I'm not sure. And then now what you see with him.
Size was the most.
Really?
Yeah, because the league's huge. The league's gigantic. And I was worried about whether he could keep up with that size, that he would get knocked off pucks easily. Exact opposite happens. He has grown to a player who gets inside, plays off guys' hip pockets all the time. When you watch him get inside and get in front and get his nose over the puck, he's hard to knock off that puck. And you mentioned a great thing about the fact that he sees the ice so well.
Yeah.
Before he even gets near the puck, he has 2 quick looks and he sees everybody, knows where everybody is. So good protecting the puck. So sneaky with his passes. There was a moment, it was 2 years ago, maybe a year ago, where I asked him when there was terrific bench interviews. I said, I better stop saying that because they're probably getting good. So I asked them, I said,
look, they suck.
They
They suck in every sport.
Not good.
Every sport, you never get anything. In fact, I'll give you a little story. Who are we talking about? We're talking about Eklund, right?
Right,
okay.
yeah.
Just want to make sure we can pick up where we left off. So it was back when I worked at ESPN. They would have in the truck, they'd talk to the coaches, and then they'd have a huge X through it. Do not air. Just so they didn't mess up and air something where he's cursing or something. Everything that had a big X through it was actually worthwhile. Exactly. It was like, oh, that's pretty good stuff. And do not air. And then the shit that they would show, I'm like, why are we showing this? Like, what are we doing? Yeah. Which is why when I did my thing with Pop, Popovich a couple years ago. I asked him his favorite animal. I'm like, who cares? Like, oh, it's better than
something.
you know. How's your defensive trend? What do you think in the first? We got to wait to have it. It's just like they're not going to give you anything. But I think the networks think more access is always better.
Yeah.
It's not. It's like, what do you get from that access? If it's like really high quality, good stuff, then yeah, it can enhance a broadcast. But just going down there to talk to the coach and he's going to say, you know, we just need to work harder. Our shot selection needs to improve. We need to hit the boards a little bit. We need to run the court a little bit better too.
Yeah.
All right, thanks. Back up to you guys. It's like, well, thanks.
Yeah.
I just wasted, 420 steps getting down here to interview you. And now I got to go back upstairs and you gave me, but at least you know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
At least you like your expectations aren't high.
No, I don't know how many people are like, I can't wait for the bench interview. Although it was fun when Zetterlund was with us.
Yep.
Zetterlund would always come in and ham for the camera or everything else. We'd come over and go, who are you talking to? And I'd say something and he'd say something back. And it was fun. And then Mark Edward Vlasic every time. So I would do the interview and then I'd do that Remenda Rush thing where I talked about who we should watch. And he'd just stand there and just hit me with a stick the whole time. But there was one. The best was Owen Nolan. Owen Nolan made me a star. And because it was so I was doing the radio and then they said, okay, we're going to bring Drew down between the periods and interview the guy. So I came downstairs and I'm interviewing Owen. Okay. And Owen and I, we had a very cool reception with each other. The first one. And I was kind of afraid to talk to him. Yeah. And then he goes, I interview him. At the interview, I said, thanks, Owen. Good luck in the second period. He grabs me around the head and goes, Drew was a little nervous doing this today, but I thought he did a pretty good job. And that Ted Griggs was our guy, and he just loved it. But every time I would come downstairs and interview somebody else, Owen would walk by and give me a cup check. Yeah, all the time on camera. And we are in St. Louis, and it's Game 7. And I'm in Ronnie Stern get put in the game. Ronnie Stern says, hey, I'm going in the game. Can I make sure you say hi to my wife for me? I said, score and I'll interview you and you say it yourself. And he goes, okay. He actually scores. And Owen scores the long one, of course. But Owen walked by me when I'm interviewing Ronnie Stern and cup checked me so hard. You can see me go, oh. And Ronnie goes, he got you. Oh, yeah, he got me. Yeah. It's Game 7, But Owen was the guy that was always the best. That was so much fun.
Did it ever occur to you to actually wear a cup?
No, but I should have.
You should have.
Yeah.
You should have just thwarted him.
Exactly. But mind you, I've been hit with a cup before too. That's unbelievable. Can't get one that small. It's hard to find one that small.
Please. I can get a thimble for you.
My grandmother was a sewer. I probably have a few steel ones around.
That's good stuff.
But anyway.
So we're talking about
Eklund.
Yep.
And I asked him about he hadn't scored in a while. I said, does that wear on you? Does that wear on your confidence? And he went, no. Because I'm supposed to score. That's my job. So no, I just got to be better at it. And when he said that to me, it has stuck with me. And I went, that's a great answer. Yeah. That's a kid with mental toughness. It's a kid that knows what he's supposed to be doing. And he knows that he's not delivering. He's not a guy who's, I'm not getting the puck, or I'm not getting power play time, I'm not getting this. I got to be better. And so when you look at guys that put it on themselves, and you like Pavelski, that's the one guy I look at all the time. And then you look at Eklund, and you look at Celebrini and Smith, who were out there early and out there late. You go, and I saw McDavid too. It's, you know what? He had the mental game to go, I've got to be better, and he worked on his craft. And that's why he's become so good. A great year last year.
Great year. Yeah. Fantastic year. I mean, again, that's the hope. That's the excitement for the future is the young guys. But it's not all about the young guys. Let's talk about Uncle Tyler and how important he is to this team. Because when this team becomes what they want to become, he probably will not be a part of this team anymore. But he can still have an impact on this team with his professionalism and practice. All the stuff that good pros bring to a locker room. Show up on time, get your work done, be ready for the games, be attentive, be a good teammate. be a winning hockey player instead of a hockey player that goes out there for points for yourself. I try to impart this with every young athlete. Like, if your team wins, everybody looks good.
Yeah.
If your team loses, maybe only one guy looks good, maybe.
Yeah.
But everybody wins when you win. So if you could figure out a way, what's your special sauce to helping the team win, you're going to be much better off as a player. But like, he can impart all those things. He's been a part Stanley Cup champs. He's done all that stuff. Talk about his importance and like what he brings to the table, because obviously this is a guy who understands his role here. He's a mentor. He, like I said, he's an uncle. He's just he's raising these guys. They're like cubs. He's like Papa Bear, and he's going to raise them. But he can still play. Like, there's no doubt about that. He can still play. But talk about all that and what he has to deal with, and why like he's one of the right guys to be able to do it.
Well, with Tyler, because of his background and his resume, and the Stanley Cup championships, immediate respect coming in the room. Especially because all the years he played against San Jose and just burned the hell out of us.
Yeah.
You know, so he was immediately respected coming in. And a lot of times when you see a guy from the outside, you think this about him, and then he comes in and he's not a disappointment, but very, very different. And, you know, he's now maybe not as the guy that we thought he was because he had a better surrounding cast or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
That wasn't the case with this guy. In fact, he's had his best goals totals last 3 seasons.
Huh.
You know, keep scoring 30. I mean, it's just absolutely amazing. The one thing about Tyler is, Tom, he is so easygoing, you know, as far as just when you're just talking to him, the energy.
Yeah, don't be scared.
I'm not. It's so,
don't be scared.
This is so great.
That bunny's rolling around right now.
Hello, sweetie pie. And yeah, you're right. Loves the chords.
Love the chords.
Yeah.
You guys better make sure those chords don't get you. This show's going to go off the air really quick.
That would be you and me for sure.
She'll be like, hey, what's up? What are you guys up to?
So when you're talking to him, he's very calm. He's very relaxed. You know, he's a guy who has literally seen everything in the National Hockey League, done the ultimate, which was win Stanley Cups.
Yep.
He is a guy that commands respect just by who he is, not just what he's done, but who he is. The one thing I love about him, you know, I'm down on the bench during games. When he barks at somebody, you notice. He doesn't bark a lot of his own guys, but if somebody's doing something with Macklin or Will or a ref or something like that, when it comes out, that voice, it's jolting.
Yeah.
It's deep and it's loud. And it's like, geez, my gosh, who's he yelling at me? So it's really, and everybody snaps their head because it's Tyler Toffoli. You know, it's like when he barks, wow. And that to me says a lot about the individual's gravitas in the room. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A guy that, and on the ice with both teams. He's very dryly funny.
You know what else is super great about Tyler?
Yeah.
He's an official spokesman for Fieldwork Brewing.
Is he
official
really?
Non-alcoholic beer of the San Jose Sharks.
It's amazing.
He is
what
actually.
You know. Is he?
I'm not making that. I'm not just throwing it out there. I know that he is.
But without Tyler, I'm not sure Will and Mac would have had the year they had last year.
Yeah.
Without Tyler.
No.
And I'm not trying to take anything.
And again, he's still putting up numbers.
Yeah.
Like he's doing this and putting up numbers, which is really, really impressive. I mean, look, when you've won a Stanley Cup, I'm sure there's part of him that would like to be playing for a team that's going to go deep in the playoffs and have a chance to win another Stanley Cup. But he reminds me a little bit of Chris Paul. When Chris Paul went to the Oklahoma City Thunder, when he got traded, I think it was from the Rockets. So he goes to the Thunder, and that was before the Thunder or the Thunder.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, boy. He's going to go from a team that just got through having a chance to win a championship to playing for the Thunder. And he played his ass off, and he led those young guys, and he taught those young guys, and they made it to it's either the play-in game or the playoffs. I think it was the play-in game. But anyway, they had a good season. And I was like, I have my issues with Chris Paul, the way he plays sometimes, the flopping and all that. Yeah. But I was like, how could you not have respect for a guy that really wants to win a championship, hasn't won a championship, at least Tyler has, and got so close with the Rockets and now goes to a team that's rebuilding.
Yeah.
You could just see him saying, I don't want to be here. Just trade. Get rid of me. And he didn't. And he bought in and he taught those guys and he led them to a play-in game. That's why I have the ultimate respect for those guys. And the same with Tyler Toffoli. He's a guy that's won a championship. I'm sure at this point of his career, he'd like to win another one. But he's playing his ass off and he's helping lead these guys. So that's why I said the effects that he'll have on this organization are probably going to be felt long after he's gone.
Agreed. 100% agree. And that's a perfect example or a comparison, I should say, because he won a championship. I do believe it was his rookie year with the LA Kings.
That it was?
Yeah. And then, had a great career, was always a guy that was a big force for the LA Kings. And then he gets traded. And everywhere at playoff time, he was a guy that was going to go on the move to a team and try to help a team out.
Yep.
And those guys, you're one of them. You're pro athletes. Yep. You guys are about winning, man, period. End of discussion. But he came here, and I was so excited when we got him because I loved him in LA.
Yeah.
Not, loved him, but hated him, kind of thing. And he immediately, he's smart, completely understood that his job was more than just to play hockey.
Yeah.
He immediately understood that and accepted it so naturally and beautifully of being a mentor to not only just Will and Matt, but everybody in that room. You can learn from everybody. Well, I think he's a great example of that.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about and I want to get to Askarov at the end.
Yeah.
But I want to get to the two young guys who, by the way, I didn't even tell this. I didn't really bury the lead, but Dickinson and Misa are going to be part of the opening day roster. Doesn't mean they're going to play opening night, but they're going to be on the roster. So that's pretty exciting because they're going to be part of the core. Tell me a little bit about Misa and what to expect if he stays. What's his skill? Because you're starting to get to a point where like, oh damn, they already got three guys. This guy was the number 2 pick. I read like reports on him just saying super skilled, all that, like you'd expect the number 2 pick to be. But give us a little thumbnail scouting report on this guy's game.
Well, he had 134 points last year in Saginaw of the Ontario Hockey League.
That seems like a lot.
That's a lot.
It seems like a lot of points.
That's a lot of points. I can't remember. It's a record that he had passed. I can't remember whose it was. I want to say it was Rob Brown's, but in Canadian Hockey League, it was ridiculous what he did. He is obviously an offensively skilled guy.
Yep.
Not very big, quick. His instincts on the ice are really obviously one-way oriented. That when he gets near the net, oh my goodness me,
really
just goes to the right spots. He just, how did you get there? Kind of thought.
Yeah.
He's smart that way. Thinks the game well. He's going to be one of those guys we look at again. Can he complete a 200-foot game? I think he can, but he's one of those guys that if you have 134 points in a game, you probably didn't have to check very much.
Probably not.
Because the puck was always on your stick.
Probably
right?
not, yeah.
So he's going to have to learn that part of the game. But I got to credit the coaching staff at training camp. Nobody got days off at training camp, man. It was hard work. There was a lot of competition drill. Doesn't shy away from him. I like that because he's not very big. I love that I'm my size, and I'm saying that these guys aren't very big. Anyway, I can do that. So
you're a giant.
Yeah, I'm huge. It's just in my head alone is giant about how great I think I am. So when you look at Michael, you look and think to yourself, if you're slotting guys, this first line center is Macklin and Will and Eklund.
Yeah.
Second line guy. We have Wenberg there now, but Alex is an older guy. I think he's on the last year of his contract. Michael will probably slide up into that role.
Yep.
I watched him in the Memorial Cup and was blown away. Memorial Cup is the junior championship in Canada, and was blown away about how he was able to just be the guy on the ice. So every time he was on the ice, it was you were excited about the moment because at any moment, I hate the term game breaker.
Yeah.
But he was a guy that every moment he was on the ice, you were excited as soon as he touched the puck because he could do things that nobody else could keep up with. So I look at Misa. I'm looking at Like this, I think it'll be a year with he and Dickinson where they work it like they, being the Sharks management and coaching staff, work it like they worked with Will last year. Let him come in and be gentle with it, because we got more veterans around now than we did last year, and let him just find his way in the league and then get up to speed and let it progress. They'll push him, of course, because you have to. But I think with Michael and with Sam, I think they'll play it very smartly, because they don't have to put them into the lineup right now. They don't have to play 82 games and hope that they get 40 points each. They can, and they did it very well last year. And I thought the coaching staff handled it well, as perfectly. Is that we can ease these guys into the roles that they're eventually going to have.
Yeah. Well, I think the added benefit of Celebrini, and not only the maturity, but his 200-foot game, is that he's going to demand that of Smith. He's going to demand that of Misa. And that's your peer group.
Yeah.
That's not the coaches harping on you.
Yeah.
That's a player harping on you. And when a player, and I don't know Celebrini that well, I just can see a guy that's serious doing that stuff, like not going to put up with any of the shit.
No.
I don't know what he's like, if he's comfortable doing that, but I can see where, like, hey, if your best player's doing that, you better do that too.
It was a story, when the Red Wings were the Red Wings, right? And everybody said, like, what's the Red Wing way? There was always talk about the Red Wing way, the Red Wing way. And you ask anybody, they said the same thing. Well, you come into the Detroit Red Wings and you see Pavel Datsyuk and Zetterberg and Lidstrom and Yzerman and Shanahan, and you watch how hard they work and how hard they play and what they're doing at practice and how hard they're working in the dressing room and their gym afterward. You can't come in and slack off.
Yeah.
That's the Red Wing way. You've got your leaders who are showing the way to do it. Like Joe Thornton was not an easy guy to play with. There was his retirement thing. That the stories were great from Ryan Clough and Douglas Murray and I knew he was a tough guy to, because he held you accountable. Sometimes not in the ways that you want to be held accountable, but he did. Macklin will be that guy, and I'll acquiesce to you, because that coming from a coach versus coming from a player,
it's different.
Carries different weight.
Different.
And so I think that I think you're on it perfect. Is that Macklin will Macklin on the bench is engaged. You watch him; he's engaged. Works. There's incident this. I don't think he'll be mad at this year. So during the game, Macklin was on the refs about something, and I can't remember who the player was. The veteran player is sitting, because I'm on the bench, sitting beside me. Goes, don't see an 18-year-old working the refs very often in the NHL. I said, no, you don't. He goes, hey, good for him. Way to go. He was happy as could be. But it was pretty interesting, that Macklin's, he's just so driven.
Yeah.
And that I'm going to hold everybody accountable. And that's, I think, a good point that Misa can learn from that.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, it's fun to envision this, right?
Yeah.
You got Misa, you got Macklin, you got Smith, you got Eklund, all that. Maybe firepower, the power play. You're thinking, oh wow, this is going to be
scary.
Maybe Dickinson's like more important than those guys, because the blue line struggled a little bit last year.
Oh, did they?
So I've heard. A neighbor told me that. He goes, hey, the blue line, which just wasn't all that. Rebuilding that blue line. And he might be part of it. Hopefully he is part of it. He might be more important. I don't want to say more important, because all the young guys are going to be important. But having somebody that you could put in a top pair, or maybe even a top four.
Yeah.
Because really right now, let's be honest, any of the other guys they have on the blue line right now, all due respect, if it's like a playoff team or like a team fighting for a championship, those guys aren't in the top four of a blue line. How important is him and as Dickinson, and what do you see his path? Like what, because I don't know much about him, strengths, weaknesses, stuff that you'd like to see from him this year. Maybe a pairing with I guess they're mostly veterans back there on the blue line, but what are things you'd like to see from him this year? Because that's just something that the blue line's got to get better.
Well, they have been. I think Mike did a really good job on restocking the blue line. So you still have Vincent Desharnais, 6'8" giant. You got Mario Ferraro, who his game, he changed it last year. Even he just got better.
Yeah,
Got way
I like
better.
him.
I love Mario, and I love his energy. I love the person that he is. But his game, I mean, there's nobody who sacrifices more, puts his body on the line time after time, and just, this is a guy who lost all his teeth in one game. We went to Carolina after the game with him, like he's got nothing, right? There's a dentist convention, I swear to you, at our hotel. Okay, he gets to the dentist.
Did they take his insurance?
I don't know. I think the Sharks could cover it. He gets the work done, okay, as much as you can to stop.
Oh, hold on. There's a dentist convention at the hotel.
Well, then he went to like,
and he gets his. I was going to say what office. In the Dwight Eisenhower ballroom. He's in there getting his.
We were like,
his grill
the great thing was we were way out. Like we didn't stay at our normal hotel. We were way out in some way out. Okay, we were driving through the woods in Carolina, going, okay. So it was not a walkable distance to the ring.
I bet it was.
He gets it done. I think it was a game later or 2 games later. He comes walking down the hallway. We're in Tampa. He comes walking down the hallway of Tampa, goes right into David Quinn's room and says something, comes walking back out, back in the dressing room. And David Quinn comes walking out, listening, goes, guess Mario's playing. He's like, I'm playing. That's all there is to it. That's how tough he is.
Wow.
So that's what I love about him.
Wow.
That's one of the things that's great about him. And then they bring in Nick Leddy, longtime veteran Stanley Cup champ, John Klingberg, who played with the Oilers last year. They've got guys that are NHL vets, again, like Tyler and Barclay Goodrow, and the forwards with young guys. Same thing here. Shakir Mukhamadullin will be able to learn.
Yep.
Playing with Dmitry Orlov, who's a hell of a defenseman, and Dickinson will learn from everybody. Again, watched him in the Memorial Cup last year. His team won at the London Knights. He was dominant.
Was he?
He can bring the puck up the ice. He can make that first pass. But when I watch him play, and it's interesting when you think defenseman, you got to be able to skate backwards, and you make sure when you watch him play, you watch how many times he is coming forwards to check a guy. I think it's hell of a lot easier to skate forward than it is backward to try to catch the guys in the league. He's aggressive and so smart in his skating that the way he angles, he stops any attack before it happens. Now it's preseason, so you try not to get too excited about it because you're playing against certainly most people on your same level. But even playing against Utah, who had most of their guys in, and then playing against Vegas, who had all of their guys in except Dorofeev, he was not out of place. He played up to speed. He was tough in front of the net. He's a guy that moves the puck well, skates well, gets aggressive, and gets up the ice. So I look at Dickinson, and you're right. You look at that core. You look at those guys. Dickinson is part of that core. He's again another kid that you talk to, and you think, how old are you? Like, you're supposed to not be this mature. You're not supposed to give me, but he was also in a championship organization from the London Knights. That's the Hunter brothers, own that and coach that. And he said playing for the London Knights did a lot for him as a person as well as a player. So,
all right, let's get to the goalie.
Yeah.
Yaroslav Askarov, who came from Nashville. Greer gave up a lot to get him, right? And it wasn't just them. There was a bunch of teams that wanted him.
Yeah.
They ended up getting him. And the scouting report I read on him was, this is something you hear from like football, basketball. They called him a freakish athlete, which is weird to hear from a hockey goalie. Like, they got a hockey goalie that can dunk? Well, that's not doing me any good. But they said his feet are incredible. Yeah. They said the question was his hands a little bit. And what's he going to have in front of him to help him out this year? And we don't even know if he's going to be in that game one or not.
Yeah.
But give us the thumbnail on this guy. Because, again, all I've heard is this guy could be like a stud. There's a lot of guys that could be, should be, would be that never are.
Yeah, I was going to be one too.
Yeah, I've heard that about you. I read your scouting report too. They said
my wife didn't give it to you. Anyway.
No, they said if he was better at everything, he would have made it.
Exactly. That's exactly right. My only problem for not making it, I didn't have any skill.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and they said
somebody said it.
If you were a better skater, stick handler, you had better vision, tougher.
Better thinker.
Although you were tough enough.
I was tough.
You were tough enough. But you weren't able to get to the tough areas
No,
to be
because
tough.
I was bad.
You were there. Everybody was gone. They dispersed by the time you got there.
In fact, the Zamboni was already
You
out.
were 3 strides late. I'm here. Wait for me.
On a good day. I'm coming. Don't you go anywhere.
So this is like if he hits,
Yeah.
right, and these guys hit, then you're like, okay, we're golden.
Right.
We're starting to rebuild our blue line. We got our goaltender of the future, and look at all the weapons we got. It's funny because we talked so many times throughout the years, and this was after the Sharks run.
Yeah.
How just not dynamic they were, right? They just weren't.
No.
They didn't have any playmakers, just did.
Yeah.
Now they do, and now you get a chance to watch them grow and see where that goes. So that's taken care of. Now they got to take care of the blue line. But what's Askarof's like? What's because goalies are always a little bit different. They're like kickers, right? In football, it's like I don't even really know how to assess them. Either you make the save, or you don't make the save.
Yeah.
You make the kick, you don't make the kick. I'm not really sure. But what's his like scouting report, and what's his like ceiling possibly?
First off, he is the most upbeat, positive, smile on his face every.
Is he really?
Yeah. Last year during the game, when there's a couple of games that he got to play.
Yep.
I've got the monitor in front of me. Okay. And at breaks, he'd come to the bench, get some water and towel off and everything else. And then he'd look and go, I'd be looking at a save from his and he'd go, you know that guy? I go, yeah, he's good. He goes, yeah, he's really good. I think he's really good. He's talking about himself because he's watching himself on the monitor. he's always smiling. He's always upbeat. Watched him. I did the CUDA games last year too.
Yep.
When I couldn't went to the playoffs. They went to the playoffs and I broadcast those games. 6 games and they were injured beyond injuries. Like, the fact that they won the first round is amazing. They got it out, but they won the first round on him and they went against Colorado. And he had in 6 games had a 1.94 goals against, and he was phenomenal. And the CUDA were banged up. He's very athletic. They're right. His feet are amazing. His pad work is outstanding. He is a guy that he's continuing to work on his gloves. He's a right-handed shooter, so he's the gloves over here and not over here, which throws guys off. He is incredible at how he anticipates the game. You can tell, and Nedeljkovic does this too. I probably pointed out against Vegas that he's over to the shooter before the puck even starts to get there because he reads the place. He reads through the rushes really well, and so does Alex Nedeljkovic. He is a guy who tall, 6'3". We all have to remember though, he's 23 or just turned 24. This is his first full year in the National Hockey League. That's why it was so smart of Mike Greer to bring in Alex Nedeljkovic, veteran goaltender, solid goalie, no problems with him, no problems with his attitude. What a great guy he is and smart. And so you don't have to, again, heap all of it on him, on Yarrow. Yeah, you're right. Yarrow's the future, without a doubt. But because you got Nedeljkovic and Yarrow's Yarrow, you have a great competition there. I believe in competition for every spot. I believe you have to earn your ice, earn your starts. And Yarrow doesn't think that he has to carry the load. I think he knows he's got a good partner, a guy that's going to support him, but a guy that's going to also challenge him. Great goaltender coaches. Geez, we got Ryan Miller, we got Evgeny Nabokov, and you've got Thomas Spear. You've got a great trio of coaches and people that understand the goaltender position. You know who, the first couple of years, who our goalie coach was? It was me. So I'll take that.
No.
Yeah. You know how many times I played goal?
0.
Yeah, exactly. My dad played
What'd
goal.
you tell him?
Stop that if you can. So good luck.
You know what?
Yeah.
How come you didn't stay?
I don't know how they
How'd
didn't think
how'd you lose that title?
I don't know how they didn't think that
I mean, come on, that's as basic and easy as it gets.
Jeff Hackett.
Stop
Jeff
the fucking
Hackett.
puck.
Jeff Hackett to this day will just probably think I probably shortened his career by about 2 or 3 years.
You killed Hackett's career.
He's such a wonderful guy.
He goes, I had no help. None.
Yeah, none. So you've got a lot of, he's got a lot of support, a lot of help around him. But with Yaroslav Askarov, the one thing that you hope for is not to live up to the hype.
Yeah.
Make your own hype.
Yeah.
You know, because everybody's talked them up and talked them up. Nashville doesn't make very many mistakes drafting goalies. They've had great
Yeah.
goaltenders in their career, in their existence. But Yaro's got enough support around him where if he just learns and listens and has better people to play in front of him playing for him, and he does have that this year, that he is going to be what we think he is, which is a top-notch NHL, can maybe take you to a Stanley Cup one of these days goaltender.
Do you think your goaltending coaching ability, could you have even killed Brodeur's career?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Easy.
You think
yeah,
so?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
You know what? So Jeff Hackett, I love Jeff
And
Hackett.
Watt, too? You'd have killed his career? You could,
I don't
like,
think anybody
basically, you
killed
killed
Patrick's career
you
because he
think
was so
Patrick's
pretty high
okay?
on himself. Yeah. I know we're going to see you, the Islanders, Patrick. As I say it with love. Like, I think ego gets a bad rap. I do. I think ego gets a bad rap.
Yeah, I think so, too.
Yeah. If you're playing in professional sports,
Yeah.
you better have a strong ego.
Yeah.
So Jeff Hackett, what we do after practice is I would shoot on Jeff Hackett. Okay. So the guys would go off and I just take shots. I come in different angles and take shots. Now, you would be comfortable with me shooting at your headlights. Okay. Your headlights would survive just fine.
What do you got, a hump in your slap shot?
Well, it's just.
Does it like do one of these?
I think the proper term is muffin, I think is what you would refer to. A muffin shot. This is the Muffin Man.
The muffin shot.
Do you know the Muffin Man? Yeah, it was me shooting.
So you're
the
not breaking my headlights.
No,
basically
I'm not breaking
what you're
headlights. It
telling
wasn't
me.
breaking sticks
Yeah.
either. And so it was like for Hack, it was like being in AA baseball
Yeah.
and facing those pitchers, and then going to major leagues and facing Nolan Ryan.
Yeah. Just
I think I screwed his timing up so badly, but mostly with Hack. it
He's
was
like
just
looking at the pucks. What are those?
What was
What
that?
are those? Oh,
Oh,
what the?
thank goodness that didn't
what is
hit
that?
me.
I can't believe you're
Those
the
who can't do
goaltending
those.
coach.
Yeah, for a year I was the goaltending coach, and then we brought in Dave Pryor, who was a really good goaltending coach. But the only thing I had to do with Hack was just talk to him. Just talk to him, and he was because another guy. Just all you guys.
Did you ever say I'm sorry?
Yeah, every time, every stinking time. Got him a new contract.
I'm
though.
sorry. Did you? Oh, hey,
Hey,
you weren't that bad then.
I'm sure his play had something to do with it. But
No, well, you're the coach though.
exactly.
That's right. You got it done.
I did video, assistant coach. I was on the ice, assistant coach. I was at that time the travel secretary because we didn't have anybody traveling,
Okay.
so it was not like now. And I was a part-time goalie coach. And the thing that probably sunk me more than anything was being the travel secretary. We did our very first trip. How much time was we on?
Yeah.
I'll tell you the story. We used to fly out of Oakland. Okay, fly in and fly out of Oakland. So our first big trip, we're going to Hartford, and it's like a 7-gamer out east. And we're leaving at like 9:00. We get there about 8:30, and our plane's we got a charter company, and our plane's got a flat tire. Okay. I remember it was being windy as hell that day. And so how long? And they went, hour. Okay. The guys got about an hour, and they were all at the FBO hanging out. And I got this bag full of money because I got the per diem, right? It's all cash.
Okay.
Right. So I'm thinking, I'm just going to hand it out now. Right. So I hand out all our per diem, and everybody has to sign for it and everything else. And 20 minutes later, one of our players comes out and goes, "Hey, you got any more per diem?" And I went,
Playing cards.
"Exactly. Yeah."
Playing cards.
I said, "Why?" And he goes, "Playing cards, I just lost it all."
You have more per diem.
We always had extras. And I was like, "Don't tell anybody." So we did that. And then we're waiting. Doug Wilson's our captain at the time. Doug Wilson comes around the corner and goes, "Where's Woody, our trainer?" Okay. So why? We've been there now 2 hours.
Okay.
3 hours even. I said, "Why?" He goes, "Paul Fenton, one of our players, just collapsed, hit his head on the table. We got him." And I was like, because Doug Wilson was always playing jokes. I went, "Willie, not in the mood." And he goes, "No, really." And I look around the corner and Paul's out. He went, took a drink of water, stood up, and then just went boom, down. Now, Paul Fenton works for Florida. He's got a couple Stanley Cups now, but later on in his life, we found that he had a heart problem.
Oh,
Right?
wow.
Yeah. So then, but anyway, so we get an ambulance, we send him away. We say, listen, call Brenda Will, who ran everything for the Sharks, and get you back on the road. Meet us on the road somewhere. He met us back at the FBO. He came back after because we were still there we didn't leave until like 5 o'clock our time.
8 hours.
8 hours there.
Oh,
So, it got to the point where Dennis Hull was our color commentator. He actually took a jack from his car and walked out to the plane. Thinking, I'm going to fix this. And Dennis, I don't know if that's going to work, but anyway. So we get to Hartford and we land at the airport. It's like 3 or 4 in the morning there. Okay. We've had a long day and, there's no buses for us and we can't get off the plane in Hartford. You can't get off the plane until your bus is there. Okay. And Bob Murdoch is our associate coach. And Bob was, how come there's no buses? And he's looking at the stewardesses on the plane. Why didn't your company call people, tell them they were going to be late and everything else? And I went, Mud. There's no cell phones in 91. That's probably on me, bud. It's probably on me. So we got to phone the bus company. I got to go in, phone the bus company. Okay. On a landline, of course. Get them to come out for us. We don't get to the hotel until about 5 or 6 in the morning. We didn't win. We only 3-2 lost, I think, at that game. So we actually took it as a positive. So that was probably that job probably was the one that sunk me more than anything.
That's a terrible.
There was that incident, and then we were in Vancouver. Get everybody set up, of course, and everything else, and then go up to our rooms. Then later on, Dean Lombardi calls me, our assistant general manager, say, hey, because he was meeting us in Vancouver. He goes, can you meet me? Because meet me downstairs by the lobby because I need my per diem. I went, yep, sure. And I get up and I look around my room and I don't have that per diem bag anymore. I can't find it anywhere. And I was like, oh, I don't have that much money in my bank account. I was only making $40,000 a year or whatever I was making back then. And I go downstairs and I am white and scared because it's Dean. And I went, Dean, I've lost the extra per diem. I don't know what I did with it. I must have left it on a bus or something. But here, take my per diem. And he goes, you mean this per diem bag? I had left it on the lobby desk. Got everybody, yeah. And I just left it on the lobby desk and I just walked away. And when Dean came, Dean went, the people at the desk said, hey, one of your guys left this here. And they went, yeah, I got it. So they thought, you know what? We should probably hand that job off. Drew's busy. Yeah, he's got video to do with things. Yeah, exactly.
It's so funny because travel is so different now, right? It's so different. Even back when I was playing for the Magic. This is probably back in the mid 90s. We're chartering by then and all that kind of stuff. But it's still completely different now. So we're flying from Miami to Orlando. Played in Miami, going home to Orlando. And it was like, I don't know if it was a windstorm or a storm that just carried strong winds, whatever it was. We get to the airport in Miami. Everybody gets on the plane. And they say, we can't take off for another couple hours.
Yeah.
And then it was 3 hours because of the wind.
Right.
So we're just all sitting on the plane. So Steve was on the team too, Steve Kerr. And we're sitting there and they're like, well, shit, what do you want to do? We're like, okay, let's hook up. Because I used to bring my video game on the road. So we hooked up Tiger Woods Golf to the TV on the plane. And so we hook it up. We're going to play golf. And we're just sitting there. I was like, oh, shit, we're going to be here 3 hours. And it was funny because Matty Gukas was the head coach.
Yeah.
And we didn't have beer on the plane, but he had his own beer in the back. And the door was closed all the time. We called him Henry Weinhardt because he had his private reserves. I'm like, what the hell is going on? How come? Why do they get beer in the back? We don't get any beer. So we're sitting there. We get Tiger Woods, got the game all hooked up. And I look out the window of the plane. And I go, oh shit. I go, look, across the street there's a 7-Eleven.
No.
Yes. I got off the plane, went to the 7-Eleven, got a 12-pack. Might have got 2 12-packs.
I think so.
Brought him on the plane, and Steve and I sat there and played Tiger with and drank Coors Light. Is there any way now you can leave the airport, grab beer, just come back and get on the plane?
No,
like that would never ever. I'm walking across the okay,
tarmac,
we
and
got the silver bullets. We're all good, and we sat there and played Tiger Woods golf for like three hours.
That is awesome.
Oh my god, that was we laugh about that all the time. I think it was funny too because we were drinking, and then as the flight was like landing, we had a beer, and maybe we had beer sitting out or whatever. Yeah. And again, your coach is drinking in the back. It's like you're drinking. Exactly. So he comes out, and they didn't do it in front of me. He asked Scott Skiles, who we sat at a table with. Yeah. When we were flying, it was me, him, me, Steve, Scott Skiles, Jeff Turner. And I guess Matty asked Skiles, he goes, hey, when did you guys start having beer on the plane? And Skiles goes, about the time Tom got here. I was like, you son of a bitch. You got your own beers back there.
Sell you out there.
You son of a bitch. See, I was going to say the problem you had was they assigned you Link Gates when you were an assistant coach.
Wilson. That was Dougie Wilson.
Was it Dougie?
Yeah, probably shortened his career.
Did I ever tell you Link Gates was over my house playing NHL 95 hockey video games?
When?
Back when the video game came out. No, maybe it wasn't 95. It had to be 91.
Yeah.
Because I got traded from the Warriors in 90. We're not traded. Yeah, when we released in 92. So it was 91, 92. And he knew somebody.
He knew everybody.
Who helped to get a car.
Yeah.
He helped get my car from here to Orlando.
Yeah, sure.
Guy ended up being a scumbag.
Shocking.
He went to a Fridays or whatever restaurant, and Judd Bushler happened to be there. And Judd goes, hey, that car looks like Tommy's car. It was my car. He drove it for like 1,000 miles before he shipped it off to Orlando. I'm like, this guy. I was like, are you kidding me with this guy? Yeah. And that looks like Tommy's car. He goes, oh, yeah. He goes, I saw Tommy's car. I wanted to get like a similar model. Yeah, like really similar.
Oh, he's
like
an
probably,
exact model.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you open the glove
was
compartment,
the exact car.
My name is on the registration.
Link was
something though, but he had all the skill.
Everything.
He loved to go out at night, man.
He had the body of a Greek god. He had the beautiful mullet going in, blonde hair mullet. He could shoot the hell out of the puck. He was a great skater, toughest guy I've ever seen in my life.
Super tough.
You go back in that first year and watch him fight Probert by our bench.
Yeah, I remember that fight.
Jeff Hackett's on the bench, and he is like, he's so excited. It's unreal how good that. I talked to Dave Lewis, who was assistant coach after that, and he went, Gates can fight. The assistant coach for Detroit. And he goes, that Gates can fight. I said, yep.
Yep.
And just phenomenal. But unfortunately, he had those issues, you know, the mental health issues, the addiction issues. If there would have been a player assistance program, maybe that could have saved him. Doug Wilson tried to do so much for him.
Yeah.
But he could have been as a hockey player, just from his skill level and his abilities and his toughness, legendary, but in a positive way. Unfortunately, you know, we all know guys that have gone through that. You know, we all have family members that go through those very at times insurmountable. And for him, it was insurmountable. He couldn't shake it.
Yeah,
boy, it was interesting. You know, we talk about Dean Lombardi, how smart Dean is and was about the game and about players. Our very first meeting is at 10 Almaden in San Jose. And we're sitting around the table, and we've got a few scouts, but it's all the coaching staff, training staff, and Dean and Jack Farrar, and Chuck Grillo as well. And we going through the guys, and they're just telling us basically this is what this guy's like, and you know we don't quite know. You know, new coaches coming in, and he goes, and they come to Link, and he goes, Dean goes, I guarantee you, gentlemen, we will spend more time talking about Link Gates than all of our other players combined. If we get it right, it's going to be phenomenal. If we get it right, if we're able to help this kid and we do it right, he is going to be one of the best players in the league. And I knew Link from the junior, and didn't know him, but I knew about him from junior, and I went, really? But he was right. He was right about as far as what he could have been. But unfortunately, a lot of love for Link, though.
Yeah.
A lot of love for him. I felt bad for him.
Yeah, sometimes, just it's hard for people to climb out from the shadow.
Yeah, really
that
is.
they're in. Some can, some can't. All right, before I move on to a couple other hockey topics, give me best case scenario for the Sharks this year and what has to go right for them to achieve that. And then worst case or maybe a top 3 pick again, which actually isn't worst case.
Yeah, Gavin McKenna. Gavin McKenna is going to be the number 1 guy. He played Medicine Hat last year.
Yep.
Had a 51 game scoring streak, point streak.
Wow.
Yeah, phenomenal. Never been done before in the Canadian Hockey League.
Holy cow.
Went to because the rules changed where Canadian hockey players now in the CHL can go play NCAA, even if you play a year of Tier 1 junior, major junior. So he went to Penn State. Penn. They said it allows him to, first of all, he had the season that he had. It allows him to expand his game, play against older players.
Yep.
But in the Canadian Hockey League, Western Hockey League, Ontario Hockey League, and the Quebec Maritime League, it's a league where a lot of great players have come from there. A lot of great Sharks come from there. A lot of Joe Thornton, Patty Marleau, Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, Sidney Crosby, Nathan McKinnon. They're great players that come from that league, right? That's where we got them all. But that's a business, that league. It is on the bus. You're playing 72 games or whatever it is, and you're playing every other day, and you're traveling and you're eating at McDonald's, and it's a tough, hard life. But it does prepare you for the rigors of the NHL. In college, in the NCAA, look at Macklin Celebrini and Will Smith or Colin Graff or those young players. You play 2 games a week on the weekend. You get to train 4 days. Your facilities are mostly amazing when you go to those college facilities now and what they get to work with. And you live the college life. It's pretty appealing to guys who have been riding the bus for a long time, right?
Yep.
So, but Gavin McKenna went to Penn and he's going to be the number 1 guy, they say. You don't want to get him, but you want to get him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so best case scenario for the Sharks, obviously at this point, and you're like a professional athlete, obviously before the season starts, you're thinking, we got to make the playoffs. We make playoffs. So best case scenario is playoffs. Realistically,
what has to happen?
Everybody has to hit.
Yep.
Everybody has to hit, and everybody has to have career years.
Yep.
Period. And we have to have a little luck.
Yep.
The problem is when you talk about playoffs, you look at, okay, who are we jumping over?
Yeah,
there's some teams out there that are you slow your roll for a second or two. You're not quite there yet. If they've got anywhere from 70 to 80 points, and I said I was asked for a bold prediction yesterday, I said 90, but that means a lot of stuff has to go right. And so if they get anywhere from 70 to 80 points, if they get 30 plus wins, they had 20 points or 20 wins last year, 20 wins the year before. And they're not like Randy had the great line last year. They're the most exciting last place team in sports. We don't want to be that exciting anymore in the third period in the way that we were. They had a lot of leads. I think it was 32 close games as well, the NHL, which is a one goal game or 1 plus an empty netter. They were on the short end of that more times than they weren't. So if those close games can go swing their way, with all those guys doing what you hope and think that they can do, then they can get to 30, maybe even 35, 36 wins. That's realistic. Things, as you know, in a season don't go it goes like this.
Yeah.
Injuries are a big part of it, and slumps are a big part of it, and coaching's a big part of it. The one thing when I look at the Sharks, what they have to do better, more than anything, because if the Florida Panthers taught you anything, they taught you that your play away from the puck is just as important as your play with the puck, especially when you're beating Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. Pretty hard for those guys to score when they don't have the puck because you're checking the hell out of them. Mm-hmm. And what Ryan Warsofsky and his coaching staff did this year at training camp, they did every practice was competition drills, competition, 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-2 down low, all those drills. And they've put an emphasis on checking. Like Ryan's come up with the 4 C's of, connectivity or connected, competitive, care, and I can't remember the last one.
Sucker?
Yeah. No, I don't think he threw that up on the wall. I think that they might have a problem with that
That'd
one.
be cool.
Yeah, it would be. It would be really good. But
And Ode to Deadwood.
Yeah.
It's a great TV show, by the way.
Timothy Olyphant is one of my favorite actors.
Great. Him and Ian McShane.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Fantastic show.
Did you ever see the story on that he tells on Rich Eisen's show?
Yes. Great
about the
story.
kid? Yeah. Yeah.
Great story about the kid.
Yeah, the kid. Fantastic. So if they're able to check, you've got to have everybody.
Yeah.
And so what you saw in the preseason games was how hard the forwards were coming back and helping out, and how the defense is standing up. They've got to be able to check in the third period that they didn't do it. Weren't able to do it last year.
Yeah.
Because everyone wants to score. Nobody, when your kid played hockey and he came home after the game, the first question you asked was, did you win or lose? Second question you asked, score any goals?
Yep.
That's it. Nobody said, my son came home and I didn't say, were you plus or minus? Were you able to check that other centerman you were playing against? No. Did you score? Everybody comes to the rink wanting to score.
Yep.
It's the hardest thing to do in the NHL. But everybody can check. Everybody can check. If you have the right angle, if you're quick, if you're on your toes, if you're reading the play properly, if you're physical, if you're willing to take some heat and take maybe a little shot in order to get inside and play off the hip pocket, everybody can check. So if you want to have a team identity, be a hard check and tough team. We're a copycat league. Florida checks like crazy.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. And they're tough to play against. That's how the Sharks have to be.
And their stars check.
Yeah. Yeah.
Check the
Barkov's
shit
the
out of
best. Barkov is the best 200 complete foot player in the game. And unfortunately, he's hurt, but he is phenomenal and how good he is with and without the puck. But number one thing with him is he sets the culture of that team and the identity of that team by checking like crazy. Yeah.
No doubt.
That's how the Sharks have to play. Your top guys have to be like that.
All right, a couple things. You brought up the Panthers.
Yeah.
And I hate preseason football, baseball, spring training. Warriors. I don't even watch Warriors preseason unless I'm doing the games.
Right.
To me, it's useless.
Yeah.
I don't learn anything from it. Apparently, I'm going to have to start watching Lightning and Panthers preseason games. How in the holy fuck do you have 300 plus penalty minutes
365
in a preseason game? And the game that preceded it was over 200 penalty minutes between those two.
Yeah.
What is going on between the Lightning and the Panthers? It's preseason, fellas.
First off, sign a few ex-Sharks and ex-Barracuda. If you watch that game, the 365-minute penalty game, this is like the second shift. Aaron Ekblad's going back for a puck. It's Scott Sabourin, who played for the Barracuda the last couple of years. And I love Scotty Sabourin. I love the way he plays. He comes flying down the ice, misses the check on Ekblad. Ekblad still goes down. Ekblad turns up and looks at him and goes what? What are you doing, kid? Cross check in the face. Bang. Let's go. Somebody go. I love Scotty Sabourin because he idles at 80 miles an hour.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And I love him for that. That kind of starts it. Then Luke Cunnin, former Shark, gets in a couple of fights. Gadjevich gets in a fight. And I think he got kicked out of the game. And there's a few other Sharks that were involved and stuff. So that's probably one way. But the other way is be the team that beat the other team in the playoffs.
Yeah.
How much of a rivalry is that to?
Yeah.
And the team that you beat is the team that won the Stanley Cups before you. And the craziest thing about that game, and nobody's talking about it, but they should be. Mikko Mikkola got a boarding penalty in that game. Okay.
Yeah.
And got kicked out of the game. Nobody told him, or else he just thought somebody in the dressing room said, I'd go back out there. Nobody's going to pay attention. He goes back out. 5 minutes of play elapses. He gets an assist on a goal. Okay. 15 minutes more real time elapses where they go, wait a second. Like nobody said to him, hey, didn't you just get kicked out?
Yeah.
Like Paul Maurice didn't go, why is Mikkola here? Like they kept throwing him over the boards. And he gets an assist. It takes them a total of 15 minutes to go, yeah, he's not supposed to be in this game. That goal is off the board. It's no longer 8-0. It's 7-0. And you're going to go back to the room.
It's like having 6 fouls and just keep playing.
Never seen that or heard of that before. Have you guys? Right?
Oh.
That's the craziest part of that game.
I guess the officials have some explaining to do.
They had some explaining to do. Yeah, fights are fights, and they're going to happen. Those are like the old days that you used to scrap all the time. But that's kind of calmed down. But those two teams, no. But Mikkola coming, or just deciding, nope, I'm not going. You're not the boss of me. I'm staying. I'm going to get in the system.
You're not the boss of me. I'm going to guess the Panthers Lightning, the first game they play is going to end up on national TV somehow.
For sure. 100%.
It's going to end up on national TV
100%.
somehow.
Absolutely.
All right, let's get to the big news. Connor
Okay.
McDavid signs 2-year deal with the Edmonton Oilers. That wasn't the big news. The big news was what he signed for. The same exact total is what he made last year.
12.5. Yeah.
I mean, you want to talk about a guy that just wants to win and wants to win like with that organization. Talk about doing an organization as solid. And they have no excuses anymore. It's like, you better fill out this roster the best you can and get this guy some help. What does that mean? I mean, what did you think when you saw that? Because usually everybody's out to get the most they can.
And
I'm
good
not
for you.
I'm not mad at that at all.
Go get it.
That's what everybody does. These are short careers.
Yeah.
And like if he doesn't get hurt in 2 years, he'll be up again. He'll get it then. But still, the $10 million, $8 million, whatever it was that he cost himself over the last, that ain't coming back.
No.
That's a guy that's committed to. What did that say to you? Because I was like, wow. Not only did he want to win, he wanted to win there.
Yeah. So first off, he signed for 2 years at $12.5 million each, which is far below what he could have got because he could have got max.
Well, now what do you think he could have got?
16. I think whatever 20% of the cap is
Okay.
at that time. I hope he's going to be okay because living in $1 million a year US in Edmonton, I know it's tough. That being said, what he's done is, as commissioners like to say at the draft, Edmonton, you're on the clock.
Yeah.
Because Leon Draisaitl signed an 8-year deal, if I remember correctly, 8 or 7 last year. Everybody signs those long deals.
Yeah.
Which by the way, I'd never sign a guy to a long deal like that. I know it's the thing, but it's hard to be hungry when you're full.
I know.
So he signs that, and Stan Bowman, the general manager, said it was the most interesting contract negotiation they ever had because it wasn't a negotiation at all. It was a discussion with Connor bringing a bunch of questions and a bunch of tell me what we're doing discussions, and tell me your plan, tell me your goals, tell me who you're looking at, tell me what your plan is to win a championship here. Help me win a championship here. Now, I was in the league when Connor came in. I was at Edmonton when Connor came in. I talked about Macklin. Connor wants one thing, that's be a champion. Period. End of discussion. He wants to win his trophy, no longer wearing a tuxedo on a stage. He wants to win his trophy sweaty, hurt, bruised, bleeding with his teammates. He is ultra competitive, ultra talented, and he is no dummy. You know, he's got good people around him, but he's told Jeff Jackson, who was his agent when he first came to the league, and now Jeff is president of the Oilers. Pretty smart move. Yeah. And Chris Knobloch, who was his coach in junior, pretty smart move. And Stan Bowman, he's told them, I'm giving you 3 years. Because we all know windows close.
Yeah.
Windows close. And you look at their lineup this year right now, that you go, we'll see. And they're a notoriously slow starting team. They've started slow almost forever. And the last time they won the Pacific Division or that division, 1985, I think it was.
Really?
Yeah, they haven't won the division in all the Connor's time.
Wow.
Yeah, so he has said, "This is what I want to know," and because of his ability, because of his stardom, because of what he's been able to do when he's playing for the Oilers, he has earned the right to ask those questions. You know, it's not like if you're a fourth liner, you can go in and go, "Hey, what are we doing? Because I want to know before I resign." Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, I got a guy over at, in Bakersfield who can take your spot, settle down there. But Connor is allowed to ask those questions because they know he wants to win, period, end of discussion. And the 12.5, as you said, has said, here you are. I'm leaving you some space to sign some guys because we're going to need the help. And you look at him and you go, hey, you're praising a guy for taking $12.5 million only. It's kind of fun. But when you look at it, I don't begrudge anybody getting whatever they can because your life is short in professional sports. But for him, I think more than anything, forget outside the league and the peripheral opponents, inside that room and in that organization, he has just said, I'm from Missouri. Show me state.
Yeah.
Show me what we're doing. And he has sent a message. It's about winning. It's not about points. It's not about how much your contract is. It's about winning. I respect the hell out of the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Sidney Crosby end up the year with the Penguins?
that's a great question. There's another guy. There's another guy for, I don't know how long now, Sid has been the $8.7 million player.
Yeah.
Right? When he got a chance to re-up, $8.7 million. The best player of our generation. He's just been phenomenal. And what an incredible individual. Great for the sport of hockey. The golden goal for Canada.
Yeah.
Everything he's ever done has been magic. And he's a wonderful, wonderful person. And he's always understood it's about winning. 8.7 for forever. He could, while other guys are getting $9-10 million.
Yeah.
There's defensemen making $11 million. They're going, Sid, come here, we got to talk to you. But he's just steadfast. He has finally said, it was in the summer, he said just about a month ago, that even though it's hard to envision putting on different jersey, and I'm paraphrasing, but he said it certainly is a possibility. I, at one point, would hate to see it, but then you look at Brad Marchand leaving and going to Florida and how they did and how excited he was and how I think that opened up so many eyes of veteran players like Sidney Crosby, who's played with Brad before in Olympic teams and Four Nations teams and things like that, and went, because those guys, again, it's about for Sid, it's about winning. Now he gets a chance to go to the Olympics again one more time, and he's going to, the great thing when you saw Sid at the World Championships again, he played with Macklin, and it was scary fun to watch.
Was it?
Oh, there's an assist that Macklin gets for Sid. Scramble at the net. Macklin comes out by the net. He's got it. He's cutting across the net, going from left to right, and everybody's following him, including the goalie. He goes behind the back. Sid, boom, empty netter, and Sid was, one of those like, holy, what a pass that was. So he's got a chance to play with McDavid. He's got a chance to play with, Marchand. He's got a chance to play with their best, McKinnon, who he's known since they were kids. It's going to be a chance where they're able to. He's going to win one more thing, you hope. Yeah. Although the Americans have a lot to say of it. That you look at it and go, he could probably leave and go to a top team, and there wouldn't be anybody, I don't think, anywhere, including the fans in Pittsburgh, who didn't go, good for you, Sid. You've paid us everything you've ever owed us. Yeah. You paid us back in spades. So good for you. So
you said best player of the generation, better than Ovechkin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, as I said earlier, scoring goals is the hardest thing to do in the National Hockey League. Yeah. And nobody has scored more goals than Alexander Ovechkin. But for me, as far as leadership, 200-foot game, consistency, overall ability, I'm picking Sid over Ovi all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is, since they're in the same division, What does Mitch Marner's addition mean to
a great
the?
question.
He's pretty good.
He's
What
really good.
What does he mean to the Knights?
That's a great question because that's what everybody's looking at the Knights now and going, that's it. They got what they need.
Did
Really? Because I've seen Mitch in the playoffs. And Patty Marlowe, Joe Thornton, I know he's your friend. I know he's your buddy. But his team's been able to win since he's been there, since Austin Matthews, John Tavares, Riley have been there, and Nylander. They won one playoff round, and that was their first playoff round in, 23 years? They have been fantastic in the regular season. Like, you look at his numbers, and you've got Hockey DB, his numbers are extraordinary. And when I watch Mitch Marner in the regular season, he's a driver, and he's phenomenal, a really talented player. And from whatever he says, great guy. Now, people in Toronto think he's the most awful human being there is. So, what will he do in Vegas is a great question. I watched Vegas when they played the Sharks, and I didn't think I think they're one of the best teams in the division. I think they're going to be one of the best teams in the Western Conference, but they didn't look as quick as I thought they would be. Now, give the Sharks a ton of credit. They played a hell of a game that day, but it was preseason as well. Can Mitch Marner? The only question about Mitch Marner is, I know, I understand it. Yeah. Enough of you.
She's like, bro, can this guy leave so I can eat?
The question is, can he turn it on in the playoffs? Period.
Yeah.
Can you turn on the playoffs? Last year during the playoffs was the round they got knocked out. I think it was Game 7 against the Panthers where he lost his mind screaming like they pulled a Travis Kelce at the bench, right? And I'm thinking to myself, dude, I understand the frustration. I don't really hold athletes accountable for during games or right after games saying being emotional. But at that moment, look in the mirror, dude. So I don't know what he can do, but he can be a guy that can maybe make the change or give the Vegas Golden Knights that extra little pop offensively. But again, we talked about what wins it.
Yeah.
The Vegas Golden Knights, Petrangelo's out. He says he's going to try to come back for the playoffs. I don't know if he can. He's a huge part of that team. Defense wins championships. Do they have enough guys in that back end to pick up that slack? I don't know what they do, and I don't think they do. Yeah. So when I look at it, Marner will get his points, and their power play will be one of the best we've seen. It'll be dynamic. They were phenomenal last year. Their penalty kill wasn't. Yeah. So when I look at Marner, he will be a guy that's going to get his points. He is going to be a star in Vegas. They're going to absolutely love him. But in April, that's when I want to see, have you learned anything, Mitch? It takes guys a while. Yeah. It takes guys a while to learn. Like when I was in Edmonton, Jordan Eberle, hell of a player in Edmonton. Hell of a player. In the first playoff series he played, he was red rotten, invisible. Okay? That summer, I get asked on an Edmonton talk show. And you know me, every once in a while I should know to shut them. But no.
You don't.
No, I don't.
You don't. That's why we love you.
Yeah, it really helped me out in Edmonton. I'm so happy to be back here. And they say the host, I don't say he set me up. He just asked me a question I could have answered a hell of a lot better. Basically asked me, who would you trade, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins or Jordan Eberle? I went Jordan Eberle, like that. And then I went on to explain why. Now, Michelle, my lovely wife, and been together for 42 years and been married for 37 now. She doesn't really listen to me and never. No, that's why you can tell we've been together for 42 years. Right, exactly that long because she doesn't listen to me. But she was sitting in the chair because it was on the phone, and she just did this. And I should have known then where she went. I'm talking about an Edmonton Oilers player on Oilers Now, it was called, and I'm not being the most complimentary guy. Yeah. And after that, I got a call from the PR guy, which is never good. Yeah. Then I got a call from the general manager. And then I got a call from the head coach, who's one of my friends. That's how quick word traveled. Okay. And it stuck with me forever. Later on, Jordan did get traded. He got traded to the Islanders.
Yeah.
I didn't pull the trigger of the deal. And then he went to Seattle Kraken. He's played over 1,000 games in the National Hockey League. I can't remember how many points, but it's a respectable amount of points. He's been in the playoffs, been really good in the playoffs. Okay. And as he is playing, and then after these years have passed, I'm watching him going, Remenda, you don't know about the game. You don't. You're as dumb as they come. And it stuck with me forever. Like, it stuck with me. Last year on the bench, near the last game of the year, Seattle's in town. And Jordan's a Saskatchewan guy. Like, I know Jordan, you know. He comes to the bench after Seattle's beating the hell out of us. And I said, hey, I owe you an apology. And he looks at me. It was during the game, late in the game. He goes, what? I said, I owe you an apology. Can I talk to you after the game? And he went, yeah. So I go around after the game, and I see him. And I said, I owe you an apology. He goes, what for? I said, back when I was in Edmonton, you were in Edmonton, first playoff, and I told him the story. And he looks at me and goes, first off, you're paid to give your opinion. He goes, second, I don't listen to that show. I said, yes, I know that. But also to your first part, I'm paid to give an opinion, but I'm also paid to be right and be accurate. And I wasn't. And I felt bad, and I felt bad since then. And he looked at me and went, it's like, you've been holding on to it this long? I went, yeah. I said, because you're not the player I said you were.
Yeah.
You're 10 times, 100 times better. You're a complete player. You just played over 1,000 games. You're a great leader. You're a wonderful guy. And I said, I feel bad that I said that. And he shook my hand, and he said, it's fine. And I appreciate you coming over, but you didn't need to. I said, yeah, I did. I did need to. But it shows you that these guys, like any pro athlete, what they are now isn't what they're going to be in 2 years, 3 years. Your first playoff series, like Marner's been in a couple of playoffs now, but your first playoff series isn't going to be it's rarely going to be your best playoff series, because the intensity picks up, the physicality picks up. You got to play hurt. There's a lot of pressure on, and momentum means a lot. And you have to learn, like anything, you have to learn. Sometimes lessons learned in pain are the lessons best remembered.
Yeah.
So when I look at, say, like Jordan Eberle, that first playoff to where he is now, you go, he's a different person. He's a different man. He's a different player. But you can't judge a player just on that playoff, or maybe two playoffs. But now Marner's starting to get judged on, okay, now you've made your move. You got out of the spotlight, which is Toronto, it's tough for players.
Yeah.
And now you've gone to Vegas, which is, everybody loves it there. And you signed the new contract, and you've got the surrounding cast. Have at it.
Yeah. Well, so who's had the better career after 10 years, Nugent Hopkins or Eberle?
That's a great question.
Because if it's Nugent Hopkins, then you weren't wrong.
Yeah, but that's a
You
great
didn't have
question.
to say it like that, though.
No.
That's what got you when you went.
Yeah, just.
That's where
You know
you're
me.
just,
Like
you
the
went, yeah, I'm
arrogance.
going to be a jackhole and go,
Yeah,
"Nah."
exactly.
You could have said I'd trade him, and
Yeah,
like, this
is
is
why, because of money.
You
Because
could have said good
Connor.
player, but if you're asking
Yeah.
me between the two,
Yeah.
I'll go him.
But you're
But you
assuming,
made it seem like that's a no-brainer.
right?
Get this guy out of
You're
here.
assuming that I'm smart, though, and
Well, I try to give you the benefit.
You
of the
do,
doubt.
which I
do.
appreciate.
I
But
do.
you know
Yeah.
I'm not, so that's why I said it like I did. Because
Look, we all try to help the less fortunate, okay? And I'm doing my part.
you have. Thank you very much.
All right, let me ask you one last thing.
All right, Phil.
Two guys to start a team with. I'm going to put them on the same team. Would you rather have McDavid, Draisaitl, or McKinnon and McCarr?
Oh, jeez. See, I think McCarr is the second best player in the world.
Pretty
I
good.
think McCarr is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I got to go with Nate. Wow. That's I'm going to get a call from Stan Bowman in a minute here. I doubt Stan listens to me. Well, the great thing about McKinnon and McCarr is that they've got Stanley Cups, right?
Yep.
But Leon and Connor, when you've got those two, you've always got the potential to have that. I mean, they're phenomenal. They will drag you into fights. they will drag you into finals, which, nobody gives Leon enough credit, but
Yeah.
he's a close.
This is the way you should have answered the Everly Nugent
Yeah.
Hopkins
Yeah.
question. You should have
Yeah.
made it like real difficult.
Yeah.
Like
That is a
this is
great
tough.
question.
Now I'd go McKinnon McCarr just because you get two great players and you get
The defense part.
one offense, one blue liner.
The defense part is what gets me.
Now, whatever one you took, I'd gladly take the other two.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah.
I'd be totally happy with that.
But for me, I'd probably go McKinnon McCarr for the simple fact is I got a defenseman there.
Yeah.
And you have to have defensemen.
And the best defenseman in the world.
Yeah, and a phenomenal hockey player. So smart. Yeah. McKinnon, he needs to dial down the kicking the shit out of his own players, yelling and screaming at them all the time. But you know what? Again, great players have big engines. So I'd probably go those two.
It reminds me of Dan Marino. Like, bro, stop yelling at your own guys all the time. They're not gonna want to play for you. They're gonna be like, shut up.
Just
okay.
Go.
We can't do what you do. You just let that. We'll try to go play hard.
I do like watching players lose it on each other.
I know.
It's so funny.
It's pretty good stuff,
it's great.
especially when it's not you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I used to. We never had a player like that. I mean, Timmy would get on me, Harder would get on me occasionally and stuff. And I learned it's best not to like go back at him.
Yeah.
Even though you might be right.
Yeah.
It's like just wait till it's over and then watch the film and go, bro, this is what I was trying to tell you.
Yeah.
That guy wasn't cutting there and it wasn't my guy. Why are you getting on me?
If you're
gonna get on me, at least try to be accurate.
Yeah.
Okay, but you can't do that during the game.
What about coaches?
Game's passing you by.
Do coaches get on you? Like do coaches get on you?
Got on me all the time.
Like yelling and screaming?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nelly got on me all the time.
Did he really?
Bill Mulligan, my coach at Irvine.
Yeah.
Oh, little Irishman, about 5'8", 5'9", foulest mouth in the world.
Our coaches,
he actually called me when I was at practice one time. I've never been called this before or since. I didn't even know these combination of words were put together. He called me a cancerous cunt.
Wow.
In practice.
Used to see you next Tuesday?
In practice.
Wow.
And I wasn't as offended as I was like, I thought it was kind of funny, but I knew I couldn't laugh because then I'd have to run more. Yeah, like I'm not, because he was like red.
Wow.
He was
How could anybody get that mad at you?
I don't know. I mean, because maybe I wasn't running as hard as I thought I was running.
This was for run.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, I wasn't the biggest self-motivator. So, yeah, coaches used to get on me a little bit. But when he called me that, I was like,
yeah, you get stunned, right?
I was like, stunned. Like, what?
Yeah.
What?
You just
like, you just, what? And then again, I kind of started laughing a little bit, like, oh my god, that's amazing. And if I laugh, then he's really
he's really
mad because he was already mad.
Do you have guys that like do NBA players go back at coaches though?
Yeah.
Chirp out.
Well, not me.
Yeah, no,
not me, but Mully did.
Yeah, certainly.
Mully would.
Yeah,
Timmy might a little bit. Yeah, the stars will.
Yeah,
I mean, just watch Steve Kerr and Draymond Green.
Yeah,
are you kidding me?
Yeah, exactly.
Those guys bark at each other all the time. Him and Steve, it's funny because him and Steve are a lot more alike than Steve and anybody else. Because Steve has that fire like Draymond has.
Yeah. Former player.
But like Steve loves coaching Steph. Because Steph grew up in the game. His dad played. Obviously, his brother played. Family's all athletic. His mom, his sister. But he can be coached. Like he'll let you yell at him or whatever. And he's like, okay, I got it.
Yeah.
I got it. Let's just go take care of it. Draymond, on the other hand, is going to curse back at you, yell back at you, and then Steve will get back at him, and then he'll get back at him. Like, but I couldn't.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't do that. The one thing Nelly drew up a play for me, an out of bounds play in Washington. I still remember this play, and I never got plays run for me. It was just get your stuff, go get your stuff, you're good. But that's not true. He'd run a play for me occasionally, but he ran an out of bounds play for me, and it was like a double screen, come off, catch the ball, baseline. And shoot it if you're open.
Yeah.
So he called the play for me, and I came off. I was open, and I actually had a pretty good game that game. I think I had over 20. Caught it, shot it, side of the backboard, right at the side of the backboard. And I go to the bench during the next timeout. And he goes, "I call a fucking play for you, and you hit the fucking side of the backboard." And I looked at him and I said, I called foam. He did not find that all that.
No, he didn't think it was funny.
I did not think it was super humorous. That was one of my problems. I got to know, like, there's There's times that the situation may not call for humor, and if you do, then you're probably not going to get the response
Exactly.
that you're hoping for.
Listen, I was the same way with there's times that the situation didn't call for honesty.
Yeah, no. Sometimes you just got to suck it up.
Yeah, exactly. You just got
So we're in Washington. That's the same game. Remember Robin Ficker?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Robin Ficker was there, and he's yelling at everybody, right? Don Nelson, you can't wear a fish tie and sneakers in the nation's capital, Don Nelson. What if you get invited to the White House? You can't wear a fish tie to the White House, Don Nelson. So he's getting on him. He actually was getting on me. He goes, when are you going to get in the game, Ray Tolbert?
Ray Tolbert.
I go, what?
Who's
I go, my name's Tom Tolbert. I go, we're not even the same color. We're different hues. I go, he's black. I'm white. Okay. So he unrolled his program and looked at it. Didn't say anything for a couple seconds. And then looked at me and goes, okay, Tom Tolbert. And then started getting on me. So I won't tell the players. I don't want to incriminate anybody.
Right. Yeah.
But I thought it was kind of funny. Like, because he actually studied a little bit, got on you a little bit. And it was just, I can understand it's annoying. He's in the first row. He's right behind you. Season tickets. Did it everybody. So the players on the bench, because we were losing, and he became more obnoxious when you're losing.
Of course.
They got a Gatorade cup. Had it filled up with about a 30 Gatorade, and then all took turns spitting in it.
Oh, jeez. And then you just gave me this one?
As they were walking, no, didn't hand it to him. As they were walking off the bench after the game, just showered him with Spitterade. I was like, oh man, I didn't partake. No. I was like, bro, I can't do that. I go, I'm not gonna say you guys can't, but I can't. He's kind of funny. I go, he's a little bit funny, but I was like, oh my god, he was good. Leon the Barber in Detroit was good. He was a black guy.
Yeah,
and I remember I was at the free throw line one time. And I wasn't on the line. I just happened to be at the free throw line, so it was a little bit quiet. And he started yelling at us, Hey, Warriors! You can't win! You got too many white guys on your team. And I looked on the court, like at that time, it was me, Chris Mullen, Jim Peterson, Sharunas Marshallona.
He was right.
Like Timmy.
He was absolutely 100% correct.
I go, damn, we do got a lot of white guys on the court, don't we?
100% correct.
I go, he may be right. He goes, we may need to get another brother out here. I go, we got a bunch. The only white team that was like, there were two white teams that were pretty good. Yeah. Celtics. You have Bird. Right. You have Bird and McHale. You're okay.
Yeah.
And then you throw in Ainge and Walton. That was one of the best teams of all time. And then Utah. They had Hornacek and Stockton. And
Stockton was great.
But I mean, they had Malone as well. But yeah, he was pretty good.
That's pretty good.
But most of them are just like, they think heckling is like, let me just scream vulgarities.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's like, try to come up with something.
Yeah.
Don't just scream obscenities. I go, first off, you get kids around you.
Yeah.
Even adults don't want to hear it. But at least try to be clever.
Yeah.
Don't just be vulgar. Vulgar is not funny.
No.
Clever is funny. So that's why Ficker, I kind of got a
kick out of him.
I kind of got a kick out of him.
I like the fact he unrolled his.
Yeah, he unrolled his thing.
Okay, Tom.
He emphasized Tom. Okay, Tom Tolbert. Oh yeah, there was a few Tolberts in the NBA. I was the only white one.
Really?
Yep.
I did not know that.
Yeah, there was Ray Tolbert. I want to say there was one. Was there one more? Maybe it was football. There's Tony Tolbert.
Tony Tolbert.
Although Matt Tolbert played for Minnesota Twins. He's white. Mike Tolbert was a running back for the Chargers and the Panthers. He was black. I have a cousin right now, a brother from another mother on the Cowboys, Jalen Tolbert.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, I have I have a bunch of cousins out there.
Cowboys, nice.
We're all related.
Very
so
nice.
There's a few. There's a few Tolberts out there. Thank you so much for coming out.
Hey, my pleasure, man. This is so nice.
I mean, I can't wait to do it. So Drew and I are going to do it throughout the course of the year. I can't wait. I love watching hockey. I love talking hockey. Former employer didn't think so. Well, guess what? Former employer, fuck you. I can talk hockey all I want now, and either you can listen or not listen. Well, I don't really care.
Yeah, exactly.
We're gonna
Exactly.
talk
love
some
hockey.
hockey. So did I do this? Did I do the 7-year-old where I rolled
you
the
did.
fingers?
Yeah,
I didn't even do this.
That's a Canadian thing.
Is it really?
Yeah, to roll the fingers. Yeah.
That's just so. It's like 7. Remember when you're first learning how to do it?
Yeah.
And you almost got to take your fingers and peel them down like a banana.
Yeah.
And then you take your thumb and go, oh, I got to hold them
You
out
hold like that.
Fuck you.
Right. Yeah.
You're like 7.
Yeah. I gave my.
And then when you first learn how to do it, you go, oh yeah, I'm gonna pull that out of the holster all the time. Like, look at this, boom, 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 boom.
I gave my brother about, I don't know how old I was when I gave him the finger, and my grandmother saw it. My grandmother was a Scottish woman.
Oh.
And I couldn't run away quick enough. My grandmother would be in a rocking chair. Okay. And she started doing this, and you had to go, right? Because she needed to get a boost up. Okay. But once she got the boost up, yeah.
Did she catch you?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm surprised I still have the finger. Yeah.
What'd she do?
Yeah. She let me know because we had
did she take a ruler to it or something?
No, wooden spoon.
Wooden spoon.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. Meanwhile, my brothers are in the background. My brothers beat the crap out of me growing up, right? Okay. Beat the crap out of me growing up. And my brothers in the background and laughing their asses off. It's like they started it. I got in trouble, which is usually what happened with the baby of the family, right? So anyway.
Now, when you got punished when you were younger, did you get spankings?
Oh, no. We got beatings.
Oh, they took it to another level.
Yeah. Dad was a big fan of Spare the Rod, Spoil the Child. You know, he had.
I don't know why I'm laughing at this.
Okay.
Maybe it's not funny, but
honestly,
it is to me.
I could tell you stories where you could understand why I'm such a psycho now. But there was. We'll get into it next time.
Okay.
It's a long story about how I, why I'm even wearing a Bruce Lee t-shirt. It's a long.
I was going to ask about the Bruce Lee t-shirt.
He was my hero growing up. But
yeah.
I'll tell you the story next time we talk. All right.
Okay. You got to remind me.
Yeah, I will. Yeah.
Remind me.
It's a long story.
Yeah. And look, I don't want anybody out there thinking I'm a huge fan of child beatings, but it
was a different time.
It's a different time, and there's.
It was like
if everything turns out okay, like it's 40 years later.
Yeah.
Then I'll laugh.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And there's no psychological damage. And look, I got spanked when I was younger, and look how we turned out.
Exactly.
Perfect. I mean, look, what could go wrong?
Perfect.
I think more children should get spanked today. Look at this. Look at this. It works. I'm telling you, it works. Are you kidding me? I learned.
We live in a humorless society now. They don't get irony. They don't get sarcasm.
That's a great thing, though. If I can, I don't give a shit anymore. Are you kidding me? I don't care.
Proof that you brought me out to be on your show that you don't give a shit anymore. Yeah.
I'm gonna get a shirt. Bring back spankings. And just a bare ass on there.
Those will sell like hotcakes.
I still think there's a place in society for corporal punishment. That's just me. It works. You say it doesn't, I say it does. Everybody wants to negotiate shit now. Like, I don't want to fucking negotiate with an 8-year-old. No. Okay? I don't want to have to debate with him. I don't want to have to. It's like peace treaty time.
You're
okay?
Now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now, Mr. Tough Guy, because I know what I'm like.
No, I wouldn't. Yeah. I would never do that.
How soft are you?
I'm super soft.
Yeah, me too.
I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I was kind of soft as a parent too.
So
like I didn't spank my kids. I spanked them twice, and I was like, my dad was right.
Yeah.
I thought he was full of shit when he said this is harder on me than it is on you. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm the one getting my ass spanked. What are you talking about?
I was soft.
But I couldn't. I didn't have the stomach for it.
My granddaughter now, when she was, her thing is now, because she's got me wrapped around her finger.
Yeah.
She comes home. We go to the toy store, and so this last one we're in Walmart, and there's this Stitch doll that dances and talks and everything else. It's like $100. Okay, and she went, Papa, I want this. And I went, why should I buy you that? And she looks at me, and there's like people in the aisle, and she goes, because I'm your granddaughter. I went, well, you got me on that one.
That's a great answer.
Right? So I am so soft. My boys who are 28, they laugh hysterically now at how soft I become. They said it didn't start with Rosalind. I started with George, my puppy. Yeah. And then after that, it's like I'm just over the top marshmallow now. Yeah.
I mean, look, my dream died long ago. What I ended up wanting to be, I wanted to be like, I dreamt of being the grandpa who was Clint Eastwood in El Camino or Gran Camino.
yeah.
Gran Torino.
Gran Torino.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. Like, that's how I envisioned myself.
Yeah, me too.
I'm too soft.
I'm
I
not.
couldn't pull it off.
No.
Like I wanted to be that guy. I wanted to be that guy.
Yeah, where
I
they're
wanted to be
scared,
that he just
where they don't
doesn't
want to be
give a
around
shit.
you. They're just
Yeah.
scared of you. Yeah, I'm not
God,
that guy.
but I'm just soft.
Yeah, me too.
I really am. Because if my granddaughter asked me for that too, I'd get her the same
I
damn
was like,
thing.
I didn't even hesitate.
Same damn
I
thing.
got home. Michelle looked at me and went, "How much?" And I went, "You don't want to know."
Yeah,
And she was like, "Okay, Grandpa, Papa."
it happens.
Are you Papa or Grandpa?
I was Papa. Well, I'm Papa. I was Papa, then Grandpa.
Yeah.
And now I'm Papa again because I got two.
Yeah.
Because Camila's 5 and Kai is 1. And Kai's
great name.
Kai's just starting
Yeah.
to spit words out now. And so now I'm gonna have to go through it again. But again, I just
The greatest thing in the world, man. My
Again.
father used to say, if Bruno and grandkids were so much fun, I would have had them first. And he was absolutely correct.
make corporal punishment great again. All right, let's get out of here.
All right, buddy.
Drew, thanks, man.
Pleasure.
I appreciate
Let's
it.
do it again.
Again, Drew's going to be doing it with us a couple times a month. Talk a little Sharks hockey. And again, Drew Remenda, this show was sponsored by Fieldwork Brewing, the official non-alcoholic beer of your San Jose Sharks. Take it away.